What's up? I would like to stop shooting videos in the garage, so I'm going to go through the rest of those boxes that I got from that New York bookstore. There's 3 of them, and I'm just going to show you the really good ones, because if I showed you every single book, then you would be here for 2 hours, which probably about 10% of you would enjoy. I got these all for $1 each. We begin with a banger and a half. That is a very famous book from Michael Moorcock. It's a time travel story / retelling of the story of Christ. And I had forgotten that I had found this. It's a fairly uncommon James Schmidt's book. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Cool old Van Vogt. I got a bunch of these Joe Clayton DAWs. I think these are all in a series, and I'm trying to set aside all the series books to put them all together. This is another one, I think, Sherry Tepper. This person read books in big series. That looks like a Richard Powers cover. It's a really nice condition copy of this book that I haven't talked about in a long time, On My Way to Paradise by Dave Wolverton. He also wrote under the name David Farland when he would do fantasy books. I think he's still around. If you're into Starship Troopers and military SF, and I would say Lucius Shepard, just based on the little bit that I've read of Shepard, I think that you would like this. That's a pretty good book. Definitely like an above average book for, you know, being a mass market sci-fi book from the 90s. It's a cool timescape, FM Busby. It's a pretty bad cover. Really nice condition, Plague of Demons by Laumer. I'm tempted to keep this one. I have the one with the Barlow cover, the Wayne Barlow cover, which I think is going to be tough to beat, but this is in near mint condition. The books that I don't hang on to will be on a Whatnot auction. I'm probably going to do Sudden Death. Time and date will be down below, and as always, if you sign up for an account with the link that I provide below, you get 15 bucks in free credit, which should be good for 1 or 2 free books, quote unquote free, because you still have to pay for shipping. It's kind of a sweet cover. It's in the same series, I think. Barrington J. Bailey DAW. I already have a copy of that one. The Alien novelization. The book that I always give the same pitch for, which is the first 90-odd pages are the best military science fiction writing that I've ever read, and then the rest of the book sucks, and then I'm shocked when nobody pursues that and actually reads the book. It's a Mick Farren book. I've never read him. People ask me if I've read him. The answer is no. Here's a couple of them. Nice copy of Rite of Passage. I may actually keep this one. This might be the first keep, because I don't think that I have a copy. Oh yeah, the Chode Blaster of all Chode Blasters. I sold this on a Whatnot auction one time, and chat went wild for the Chode Blaster. It's a good cover. It's another good cover. The Universe Against Her by James Schmitz. Time Travelers Strictly Cash. This is a Callahan's Cross Time Saloon book. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Probably wouldn't like the book, I am guessing, but I've always liked that cover. An Ace Double, Slavers of Space by Brunner, and then a PKD on the back. Possibly keeping that one, not sure. I definitely do have a copy of this Spider Robinson book for its cover. This one might be in better condition. I will sell one of these. It's quite a cover. It's another one of these. These are like White Wolf paintings. It's a Walter John Williams. Was that like shitty looking rock and roll book from the last haul of Walter John Williams? Because he's the guy that did Hardwired. He's a fairly important cyberpunk writer who I've never read. There's a Keith Laumer that I've never seen. Likewise, a man whose codpiece is the whole world. Another cool ass cover. One of those covers that just screams, period. This is a cool cover, Nitrogen Fix. I'm sure I'm prefacing every single one of these books with this is a cool cover. H. Rider Haggard, When the World Shook. A writer that I don't know if I will ever read, despite his historical importance. Yes, the book that I used to love, breaks my heart, Midworld. This is one of the first sci-fi books I ever read. and it has not aged well in my own mind. Be careful rereading books that you once loved. A bunch of James Schmidt's books, including this one, which is his best known, The Witches of Caris. First in a series. This one's kind of banged up. Shakespeare's Planet by Simic. Cool cover. All right, that was box one. Not bad. First book, this Robert Charles Wilson. Someone that I would like to read. He's a hard SF writer. His stuff just looks interesting. Fairly obscure Joan Vinge book. Cool Demon Breed by James Schmitz again, with a little guy. Oh yeah, this one's cool. This is a Barlow. I have a copy of this. I am officially collecting the Barlow covers at this point. Flight of Honor by Richard McEnroe, with some really bad cover art. Copy of Snow Queen, Vinge's arguably only well-known book. I really should read her, I just have not gotten to it. Another Barlow cover. I think actually I don't have a copy of this one. He did a bunch of Lammer covers and a bunch of these reteefs. And I think I have, well, I know I have this one because I pulled it out to test the focus on the camera before I sat down. So I guess I might be hanging on to those. And interesting, across real time with wraparound art, I've never seen this edition before. It looks really cool. That's actually a pretty decent couple of books. Oh, that's the omnibus. It has both of them. I think this is my favorite Vinge material at this point, having not read Deepness in the Sky in a long, long time. And another Barlow cover. Don't think I have a copy of this. Always got to include the timescapes. King David's Spaceship by Purnell. There's a bunch of these series books that I'm just setting aside, and I'm going to do an auction that's going to be just the series books. I'm hoping I can get some complete series, or if not, I can sell them in lots. Speaking of Deepness in the Sky, really nice mass market copy of this. This might be the best Vinge book. I did read Children of Time by Tchaikovsky, which I haven't reviewed on this channel yet. I will just say, if you're into that book, you should read this one. And there's number one, Fire Upon the Deep, formerly one of my favorite books. Another example of, if you review science fiction books for a living, the science fiction books that you liked 5 years ago might not stack up. Hey, there's the Vang. Talked about this a few times recently. It's a bad book, but it has amazingly horrible alien body horror stuff in it, if that's your thing. One of the top Rogan books. I think one of the highest Rogan densities of any science fiction book. And there's another Barlow reteef. Barlow also did a bunch of these James White books. That's not one of them, I don't think. Read this a long time ago when I first started this channel, and I found it middling. Oh wow, Grania Davis's The Great Perpendicular Path. This is a pretty rare book. I have a copy of this upstairs. It's like a psychedelic erotic romp, I think, which sounds terrible, I agree. But for some reason, I'm curious to read her because her stuff is sort of, I think it has a bit of a cult following, and it's certainly not common. I have that one and another one. It's an old copy of Witch World by Norton. This is probably this and Beastmaster are her two best known books. Speaking of psychedelic and erotic, Up the Line by Silverberg. I haven't read it, but I've seen plot synopses, and it seems like a wild one. I have, however, read this one, Hawksbill Station. It's a very good book about radicals in the future who get sent back in time on a one-way trip to the Cambrian period where they have to live on trilobites and think about their political loss. That's a strong book. I recommend that one. Interesting. Here's a copy of Voyager and Night, a book with a really cool cover that didn't quite live up to the cover. It's still not bad. There's a couple of these Da Cherries fantasies. Pretty nice condition. Got cool covers. This looks interesting. Sea Demons by Lawrence Yep. That just has a great cover with the patina. I think it adds something. I am curious about this one, actually. Damn, look at this. The Lost Ones. There's a damn whale in the mountain. Ian Cameron. I'm going to set that one aside, too. Never seen that one. Wanderer by Dennis Schmidt. I find these every once in a while. I think they actually literally have David Carradine lookalikes on the cover, or, you know, the artist drew. You know what I'm saying? David Carradine. You know the artist drew David Carradine. You know what I'm putting down? Psychic Investigator. There's a bunch of these New Age paranormal books. This is the worst looking one I've ever seen. There's a bunch of these DAWs in here. Not showing you all of them from people I don't really know much about. That one has a sick cover. This one I've always thought also has a sick cover. Oh, okay. Here's some, I guess not David Carradine. There's another book, I think just called Kensho, that has a Carradine. Just really bad art. Always liked this cover. Retief to the Rescue. It's a Rowena cover. Here's a Jack Vance, just a stray Jack Vance. Blind Lake is the one I think I'm most curious about from Wilson. I already have a copy of this, but it's just got a good guy on the cover. He's the one who wrote this book that was on my TBR originally when I first started the channel, and I just never got to it. Here's another Silverberg. And another Silverberg, this is one of his earliest. This might be his, no, his first novel was a juvenile. Trouble on somewhere. First one, right on top, Northwest Smith by C.L. Moore. I have this same exact edition, so I will be passing this along. There's another really bad cover. Hajira by Bear. Never seen that cover. Very late 80s, Mick Farron. And there it is. There's Inherit the Stars. Might keep this. It's a Bane of Gladiator at Law by Paul Kornbluth. It's not that uncommon a book, but it's in good condition. And this is one I run into, and I always think, you know, you should keep a copy of that. So that's probably a good opportunity. That is a sick cover. Time Rogue by Leo Kelly. The purple text block. That is a cool-ass looking book. The Witling by Vinji. Another Silverberg. Terrible cover. Another Timescape. Ah, that's a pretty uncommon one. Icehenge by KSR. Cool-ass cover. Mike McQuay. Lifekeeper. Ah, I will be keeping this one. This one is not familiar to me. The Clewiston Test by Wilhelm in the cool Timescape. It's a great looking book. There's a Barlow. Already have it. I've shown you maybe about a quarter to a third of the total books that were in these boxes. And looking at them, I realized that I'm slightly screwed because there's two more boxes that I've already shown. And I have books from this haul upstairs, and I'm realizing that the majority, at least half, of these books belong to book series. And there's a good chance that I have all the books in the series spread across multiple locations. So now I have to pull my inventory down, spread everything out in the garage, and organize and try to sort out what is in a series and what isn't, which is going to take the rest of the day. So thank you for watching. Details for that Whatnot auction, probably, definitely more than one, will be down below. There will be more than one, but details for the next one will be below. Appreciate you stopping by, and I will see you soon.